Hello! This is the One Episode Rule podcast about first impressions, and I have consumed no anime in the past week. I am clean, a vessel, ready to review.
Wow. That's strong.
I am different than that.
Okay.
I'm Blackle. I watched an episode of Mob Psycho yesterday.
Okay.
Muzzle.
Good for you. Good for you.
It's taken a lot for me to work up to this anime thing, but I can do it.
You can do it. Did you like it?
It was okay.
It's a show.
Fair enough.
Fine.
Hi, I'm Joey, and I'm
Hi,
hyped
Joey.
on Moxie.
Hi. Hi, Joey. I'm Emma. I'm here.
I'm unclear about what Moxie is. Is this some sort of amphetamine?
It's soda.
No.
It's a soda drink.
Joey just knocked back a shot of laundry detergent before
Mm-hmm.
the show.
It's called Moxie.
A little bit of Moxie clean. Hi. I'm Emma, your edutainment coordinator. I believe, Blackle, you had something to talk about?
Oh yeah, it's completely unrelated to anime.
Great.
It's
Good.
just a funny little
That's-
anecdote that happened to me.
That's as I'm sure you all know, that is our audience's favorite part of the show, is where we don't talk about anime for like 20 minutes.
Who needs it?
Yeah.
I was gonna. So I've been doing some nerd shit. Which is I've been doing this kind of art called demo scene, where you basically write little programs to make art. And one of the demo scene things that you can do is write a program in 25 minutes in front of an audience. And this is called Shader Showdown because the little programs are called shaders. Anyway, so I was on a little get together with my pals who also do this sort of thing, and we were talking about this showdown that's happening this weekend. And I was like, well, I can't go. It's on Saturday, and I have to do like a 4-hour road trip on Saturday. And this little get together, first of all, was on stream. So we were like streaming and making art and talking. And then one of my friends is just like, just between you and me, it might happen on Friday. And I'm like, aren't we streaming? And they're like, oh no.
Spilled the beans.
Spilled the
Oh,
beans
no.
on stream.
I believe
Very
Um,
nice.
I believe the streamer term for that for Twitch is balls exposed.
Wow.
Oh my god.
That's
I
really
wonder why.
powerful.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I thought that was very funny.
All right.
Yeah, it was good.
Boy, you do know how to tell a joke.
Don't I?
This podcast, in case you haven't guessed by now, is an anime comedy podcast.
And we all love
and-
each other.
and
We tell
sometimes-
funny jokes.
Sometimes, in order to build to that, we have to start by not talking about anime and not saying anything funny.
We have to we have to build up our momentum. It's like whenever one of your relatives comes over for Thanksgiving and says a bunch of racist stuff and then gets drunk and passes out in your kitchen. You gotta like psych
Wow.
yourself up to drag them out to their car.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Christopher Vogler calls it the ordinary world.
Given the length that I've known you all, it's like you're family to me now.
That's true, actually.
And I hate all of you. No, I'm kidding.
Excellent.
I can feel it every episode.
I'm kidding.
Somebody say something relevant.
Why don't we talk about the news?
I got some news.
Yeah,
Do you got some news?
I've also got some news.
You do your news.
I'll do my news, sure. So scoured the websites today on the internet, and turns out Shaman King is getting a Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood style reboot. Shaman King, if my fellow hosts are not familiar, it was a show that aired on, for me, Kids WB.
Oh.
And aired
Wow.
by or dubbed by 4Kids Entertainment.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
see.
is all about this young boy who is a spirit medium, and he like has a like ghost sidekick that he channels to do fights with other ghosts, and he wants to go to the shaman tournament or something to beat up all the other shamans and become the Shaman King, so he can contact the Great Spirit and not take over the world. I don't think that's the way that they phrase it for the good guy main character. But that is roughly what it means.
I see.
Yeah. It was just a good old spooky time. And the original anime was fine. Did not adapt the manga properly, and so they're giving it another go.
I mean, it was for kids.
That's yeah. I mean, but
we're
even
with what they've done to other series.
You guys always talk about 4 kids, but did they ever screw anything up as monumentally as the people who did the first version of Helsing did?
Fuck. That's a good point.
Because, boy.
Fair enough.
That's a real shame, because that show had a great OP.
4 Kids, 4 Kids things were all like messed up, but they were at least like funny messed up. Like
That's
the
true.
fucking like the jelly donuts and stuff.
Yes.
Like
There's humor to be found.
Yeah.
Yes,
But anyway, there was going to be a reboot in 2017 of Shaman King, but the author, the company that was going to do it basically told the author, like, we're going to do all new voice actors and all new music, and he was like, no, I want my old friend, I want my friends, and I want my music back, please.
Valid.
Yeah. The other piece of news that I have is I initially misinterpreted this news article, and because I believed it to be announcing that there was going to be a Neon Genesis Evangelion theme park opening.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was really excited to get to go inside a real meat robot.
Crushed to death.
Get crushed to death, drink the tang. But unfortunately, it was actually just an announcement that Evangelion is going to have an area in a new theme park in Tokyo called Small Worlds Tokyo, where you walk through giant. No, you are giant, and the dioramas that you walk through are extremely small.
Oh, so you get to be the angel.
You get to be the angel. There are some pictures of the Sailor Moon segment and also the Evangelion segment, and they're quite small. It's very fun.
If only
that sounds extremely fun, actually.
If only one day I could be so geometric. So perfect. I have a piece of news that I want to talk about. So as you may or may not know, in Tokyo, occasionally, it moves around, there is a 20 meter tall light up Gundam statue.
Yes.
It's lived in a couple of different places. It was in Odaiba for a while. This is not the statue we're going to talk about, though.
Okay.
Because in Fukushima, there is a 2 meter tall Gundam statue. Basically in the wilderness outside of town.
Wow.
And it is called Hetere Gundam. And it is loved by the locals.
Aw.
Wow.
Bless.
I would like to post a picture of this for you so that you understand why it is named that.
Let's take it.
Oh my god.
Oh
Little
my
dude.
goodness.
His name translates to Loser Gundam.
Loser Gundam, yeah.
No, be nice to him.
And he was created.
Dude.
He was created 10 years ago by an amateur artist who passed away a year later.
Oh my god, is this like the fucking horse statue outside of like JFK Airport or whatever the airport is that's cursed?
No, that thing is like 45 foot tall and is possessed by the
Um,
devil and killed his
yeah.
daughter.
Satanic.
So
Yes.
Yes, Lucifer contains dark spirits. And I
Yes.
I feel only joy when I look at Loser Gundam.
so
I
anyway,
agree.
let's get to the point about Loser Gundam here. Is that he looks like that, and they have to paint him every couple of years because he rusts after it rains. But he is much beloved.
Aww.
A few weeks ago, he was vandalized.
No.
No.
On May 3rd, a visitor discovered that he was no longer holding his rifle. Somebody had taken it.
No.
Aww.
Get the
Uh,
gun.
He needs that.
But
He needs it.
it's okay because an anonymous fan has crafted a replacement hyper bazooka for him
Wow.
and left
Oh
Wow.
my god!
it is, to the observer's eye, made from bottles and duct tape.
Wow.
People
I'm
do
so
what they gotta
glad.
do.
It's really recapturing his
This-
original spirit, I think.
This is heartwarming.
And
actually.
hopefully that will allow him to defend himself against local birds until his rifle is returned.
Yes. Good.
Oh my god.
And that's
Wow.
all I have on
That was
Hetno Eka.
good.
I would like to visit him, and I would like to give him an umbrella so he doesn't rust anymore.
I agree.
This 6 foot tall robot.
He's-
Aw.
He's only 6 feet tall.
He's like 2
Whoa.
meters tall, so he's a little over 6 feet.
I'd like to give him a hug.
Me too.
I like
He's
the
my
way
friend.
that his eyes are all the way at the top of his head, and he doesn't have a forehead of any kind.
Anyway,
No, he's good. He's super boxy and he's a friend.
so do we have anything else to talk about, or would we like to get on to the viewing?
I would like to do the viewing.
Let's do it.
Let's do the viewing.
All right. Well, I dug up another one from the old weird list, which is getting pretty thin now. But you'll know why I picked this after we come back for the break.
Oh, boy.
This episode, we're going to be watching a show called Another.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Ominous.
Another.
And another one.
Another anime bites the dust.
Why do you all keep making me watch Higurashi?
That's fair.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll give you that, but Higurashi did set its hook in the first episode.
Yeah.
So I want to make my explanation for why I chose this one by way
Okay.
of having one of you read the blurb from Crunchyroll about it. It's very
Okay.
now it's a challenging one. Who would like it?
I'll
I-
do it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Emma,
Do you want to, Joey?
please.
Emma,
No,
please
I
do
was
it.
gonna say. I was gonna say I haven't in a while, but if it's challenging, please, by all means.
Great.
All right. So here's the blurb for Another.
The school held a secret that nobody must speak of. Spring 1998.
That's a
the
very
whole blurb.
minimalist blurb.
And that's it.
I said
That's
it
all
was.
they gave us.
I said it was challenging.
It
That is
is-
challenging, just in a different way than I suspected.
Yeah.
All right. That's my explanation. So what did you all think of this? Because quick rundown on my thoughts is just like this was animated okay. Looked a little bit. I'm not sure what it reminded me of. Palette was pretty good, and it had some pretty overzealous sound work.
Oh, the
Um,
sounds, the music. Oh, the
my-
music.
My opinion, my unbiased and neutral opinion is that this dub was dog shit.
It was bad, actually.
So bad.
It was very bad.
The reason to sort of pull back the curtain a little bit, the reason, my friends, that I was so late coming back to the recording session is because I couldn't let it end like that, and I had to go watch it. I had to go watch part of the episode in Japanese.
Oh God! You did homework?
I did homework because I was like, I don't know. There was just something about this show that made me feel like it could possibly be good, and Monica Rial was just holding it all back. So I did go ahead and watch a little bit of the first episode in Japanese, and it's like fine. It was interesting. But I was so distracted by how, folks, I really can't say it enough, how completely horrible all the voice acting was.
Well,
I
this
did
is the
write
thing.
that Koichi sounds like an old man.
Well, Koichi sounds like that one kid from Baccano.
For our
There's strong
listeners,
possibility.
for our listeners who haven't watched this episode for whatever reason, I do want to give a little bit of an impression of what the voice acting is from a little 2 lines of dialogue that I wrote
Okay.
at the very beginning. Okay, so here's one. So one character speaks and the other one answers.
Okay.
That's the Omiyama River. You mean that building?
Okay, so that was a little too much like the nerd guy from The Simpsons. You know, the scientist man.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was
I,
pretty close.
I would
But it was
actually
close.
I would actually also like to do that. Is that all right?
Yes.
Because I also wrote down a call and response piece of dialogue that I'd really like to share with the audience.
Okay.
There's a scene where we'll have to back up and actually give a real summary of this episode.
Yeah.
But I just have to say, are you all healed up? Yeah, I do.
I must have missed that. 'Cause it's really getting me.
Oh my god.
That escaped my notice. Okay, so quick rundown because plot there's barely any.
Yeah.
This is going for. I don't know if it's going for this. All right, I felt like it got a lot of ambience right, and that's cool. And you know what? So even some of the dub could be chalked up to them attempting to create a certain kind of ambience. Now, I don't think all of it can.
No.
So basically, what happens is kid moves to a small town from Tokyo, gets sick, gets real sick when he gets to town, so he can't start the school year with everybody else, and then has his first day of school like a month in. And everybody there's weird. That's the plot.
Basically.
Yeah.
I would like to say, and this is a weird way to phrase my appraisal of this show, because we all know that I'm the last few times I've said that I didn't like the show that we watched. But I do want to say that I can almost see how I might like David Lynch's School for Frail Children.
Yeah, it seems like it might go somewhere. But the real problem is it's got an ambience about it. It's almost got a Silent Hill 2 quality to its.
I would agree with that.
Acting. The problem is that I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's got loads of personality, and it's not, and it didn't tell me anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they were trying to do kind of. I also wrote down Higurashi. I'm sorry, but
yeah, no, me too.
I feel like they were also going for that sort of okay, we're setting up a mystery, but they needed to give us a little something more, in my opinion.
They opened. I wrote down in my notes because I took notes on this. I took notes on the boring ones. So I wrote down in my notes, what the fuck is this intro? Because the intro is 2 kids talking.
Yeah, the intro is Justin Briner and some girl.
They're talking about what the plot of the first episode should have been.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They just tell you the backstory in the
Mhm, mhm.
intro, and
Yeah.
then do nothing with the first episode.
Yeah. So the introductory speech is two kids talking about how there was a girl named Misaki who everybody loved and she was cool, and then she died like in the first like month or something, or like the first year of school, and
Yeah, she started like junior high or some shit, and then she died.
yes,
Mhm.
and then someone as a joke said, well, Misaki's right there, she's not dead. And then that started some sort of strange rumor at the school where everyone started pretending that Misaki wasn't dead or something. And that was the end. And then but then they don't really like follow through with that, because in the actual episode nobody acknowledges her.
Yeah, nobody acknowledges her. The creepiest thing that happens is the kid runs into her at the hospital, and she gets
Yeah.
up on the basement floor too, which nobody goes
That
to
was
for any
scary
reason.
as shit, to be honest.
It was scary.
You
I
ever
don't know.
been-
I was expecting some sort of like, I don't know. I just thought she was going to snap back around while she was talking to him.
That would have been good, but that would have been good. But yeah, it's just like it builds all this atmosphere, and it just doesn't do anything with it. I don't care. And we can contrast it with Higurashi, which does a worse job of building the atmosphere it's looking for, but is interesting
Yeah.
because
It
it
is.
ends with the dumbass main character going with some cute girl to dig a statue of the fucking Colonel from KFC out of a dump,
I forgot about that.
and
God.
and then he starts to suspect she's going to fucking kill him.
I feel like the thing about Higurashi is that
It sets
kind
the
of
hook.
the contrast of the like crazy like slice of life goofiness contrasts like to me really well with the unsettling factor,
Yeah.
which I think that I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily wanted this series to do that, but I don't know.
Yeah. It seemed like it was just kind of like those moments in Higurashi that they really earn by like,
Mhm.
they spend the whole episode talking about like, I don't know, the fried chicken festival.
Yes.
And then there's like one scene where
I don't know, Mion or
Reina is
something.
like
Gonna
suddenly like, did you go to the shrine today?
Yeah,
Did
you
you?
get the payoff.
Did you?
Did you go to the
Yes.
shrine? Did you go to the shrine? Or in the background, like Reina will be putting away like a big box that says nails the hammer into Kate the good stick. You know,
Yeah.
4
It's
p.m. Time for your nail hammering.
this would be like it was nothing. Don't worry about it.
Uh-huh.
Whereas this the world is hostile immediately, and they're not
Yeah.
committing. They're not committing enough to make that work.
Yeah,
Yes.
where I was going with that is like those moments Higurashi earns those by like having that strange contrast. And this show just kind of like sits there from the first minute and never leaves it.
And it doesn't go far enough. Like I compared it to Silent Hill 2 earlier. The first person you talk to in Silent Hill 2 is a really unnerving conversation that goes much farther than any of the conversations he has in. Well, he has one that I will give them credit for, and I don't even know if it was intentional. Him talking to his grandpa in the dark shrine
That
room
was like
Yeah.
scary.
was
that
so
was.
fucking tense
It was
for no reason.
unnerving.
Are you going back to the hospital today?
You're
Yeah,
doing-
there was just something like inhuman about the grandpa's voice, and then
And he just sits unmoving in a dark room with a shrine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Um,
He doesn't
Can we
even
talk
turn
about-
to face him.
Can we talk about how the kid's dad sounds like a surfer?
Yeah, he's just some dude.
He's
He's
just
just
some
like,
dude.
oh boy, it's hot in India. Oh shit.
God.
Oh,
Hey,
boy.
Don't get killed in my hometown.
Yeah. Woo, you're breaking up. Woo. Reception.
Woo! Man.
There are so many like lines of dialogue that I put in here in my notes because they are just like,
Yeah,
she's got killer style, yeah.
Yeah.
That could maybe be chalked up to the dub a little bit, though.
Yeah,
Um,
so that was the point. The other point that I was going to make is that when I went to like watch the Japanese version, it just all sounded normal. Like they were just like normal children, and like
normal people.
the subtitles were fine, and like I just don't know how this dub got so bad.
This class is close to death. It is closer to death than the other classes.
that are not as close to death as this one.
Fuck, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
God.
You will graduate in prime health.
Wait! Don't you
That
mean
one was
my
honestly creepy.
my dead talk?
Damn it.
Oh,
Damn it.
Joey.
Graduating in prime health was actually, I don't know if it was intentional or not. It was very creepy. It sounds like a veiled threat.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you follow the rules, you
Oh.
might graduate.
I've just looked it up, and apparently this anime is dubbed by the same American licensing company that did Haikyuu, which makes sense because the Haikyuu dub is also fucking irredeemable.
It's just real bad. So tell me, Emma, from what you gathered from the sub, do you think that it's more interesting in Japanese?
Yes, like 1,000 times. I get really hung up on. I get really distracted by bad dubs, and so and also I have a just personal thing with Monica Rial. It's nothing. She's a great person, and I totally support her and what she has been doing for the industry the past few years. But her voice fucking sucks so bad.
Just gonna start a beef right here, huh?
I'm sorry, Monica. I love you. Stop. Don't voice sue you. You're not good at it. Anyway, but the Japanese is good. It carries the atmosphere a lot better, and I think part of it is because like the Japanese voice actors don't sound like they know they're in a horror mystery.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is it was hamstrung from the moment we all said sub or dub. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So this is gonna sound strange, but the bad voice acting is almost instrumental in me seeing how I might like this.
Wow. Interesting.
And I'll explain why. It's because okay, so I already named dropped David Lynch, of course.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, having seen Rabbits, having seen Twin Peaks, I can honestly say that the bad dialogue could very well be playing into its favor because I put in my notes like some of these like call and response things are very much like, were you blonde? I only wish they would go somewhere. It had something to do with the telling of, which are lines from David Lynch's Rabbits.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I do want to say that the very first episode of Twin Peaks, when they find Laura Palmer, who's been murdered and wrapped in plastic, one of the standout scenes of that show is Dale Cooper and the other guy, who I forgot the name of, going to the guy's house who discovered her, and he serves them coffee, and they're like, "This coffee sucks," and he's like, "There was a fish in the percolator," and
There was a fish in the percolator.
It's like soap opera. It's like a soap opera, like what's the word? Like delivery, and in a way, it helps it because it's like it hams it up to the point where you're like, "What the fuck's going on?" And that helps it in a way.
I can see that. That's why Silent Hill 2 came to mind, is because of some of Guy Seehe's like disjointed delivery and stuff.
You like a little bit of that cheese.
Well,
Yes.
well, in Silent Hill 2 cases, it's not even cheese. It just makes everyone sound schizophrenic.
Sure.
Fair.
Well, yeah. See, that's my ish. Is because like with things like Twin Peaks and other Lynch joints, you can tell that that's like a stylistic thing. Like that's like a genre staple of Lynch shows.
It is on purpose.
It's on purpose, yeah. And this is clearly just
It's
like
very much not on purpose.
just like a
Yeah.
bad translator team and like a not good like voice director, and the cast is bad.
The cast actually seems almost competent. They rattle off Japanese names without fucking them up.
Yeah.
So,
I mean the main guy, even though he sounds like that is Greg Ayres, who is for me at least a beloved voice actor. Love that guy. he was one of the little kids in the Ghost Stories dub.
Oh, nice.
God, that show rocks. Anyway, but there's just I don't know, the voice directing, like.
there we
And
go. We can narrow it down to the voice directing, because I feel like the directions given to these people, line to line, have nothing to do with each other.
Listen, riddle me
Yeah.
this. Riddle me this. You said that the sort of direction that they went with the voice acting was not intentional. But I would like to ask, when has authorial intent ever mattered?
I mean,
I think it matters sometimes, especially when it comes to stylistically bad acting.
Yeah.
Listen,
because,
we have to take the work as it is given to us.
I
That's
guess-
film studies 101.
There's no one saying that
guess
you
so.
can't enjoy it for your purposes, but
we're just
Listen, I'm gonna
skeptical
go.
about
I'm gonna log
You know
off
what?
of Discord, and I'm gonna go write my David Lynch X another fanfic, and it's gonna be good.
You know what? I'm about to. Yeah, I'll commit to that. Just fuck it. You liked it. You're allowed to like things.
you're allowed.
Yeah, you're allowed to
Fine.
like dog shit dubs.
Listen, we've watched some really dumb horse shit and enjoyed it. So
Mm-hmm.
we continue to watch Higurashi in the background.
That's true. We
And
are
it is
still
done-
watching that.
It has done some fucking unconscionable things. So
What
good,
is wrong
actually.
with me?
you guys, by the way, did you guys like that cursed bird?
I hated the
bird.
bird's voice.
I'm trying to see if a voice actor is listed for the bird.
You should.
Yes,
You should hate that bird's voice. It was meant to be hated.
I loved that bird. That
Good
bird was my
morning.
favorite part of the show.
Good
Birds
morning,
should-
right?
Birds should not speak, and thus you are justified in hating their voices.
I just don't think it sounded like
Oh my
any
God.
parrot I've ever heard.
That bird
voices
was
this
Tiff.
bird?
That bird was Tiffany Grant. That bird was Oscar. That was Oscar Langley.
Ah.
Never mind. Maybe this dub's awesome.
Fuck it. Watch the whole
Wow.
rest of it just to hear the bird.
Wow.
Just to
I
hear
feel
the
like I'm
bird.
been flicked in the brain.
That's very funny.
Wow.
I don't know if this show's worth watching, but it's led us on a journey.
Uh-huh.
That's true.
So we're
Um,
gonna let's get
I
to
mean,
that
we already-
question then.
We did get a Neon Genesis reference in this anime already. with
Yeah,
the-
that's
with
true.
The
That
elevator
means-
scene.
I can put it in the tags for
In
the
the
SEO
tags.
now.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
so
are y'all
I'm still doing a little bit of research to track down just why this was so bad.
You're tracking down the director.
Yes, I'm tracking down the ADR director who was the voice of the father in the show.
Oh.
And also
no.
the I believe the older brother of Greg Ayres, the main voice actor Christopher Ayres is who directed this.
Excellent. Great.
He
Wow.
directed, oh man, just a lot of other really not good things. I think Dramatical Murder is probably
Oh,
the
God.
worst.
Oh no.
The less I
should-
know about that, the better.
You're
Yeah.
right.
You're very, very
Speaking
right.
as someone who knows a fraction of it, you are correct.
Blackle, I promise you this is a compliment and not an insult, but I feel like if I sat down and explained to you what Dramatical Murder is about, you'd pop a damn blood vessel.
So, anyway, yeah, Joey, you were trying to get to the question, which is,
Uh-huh.
would any of us watch another episode of this, and you know what? I'll give it one. I don't care. I ain't
Yeah.
got much going on.
I was gonna say I'd give it another episode.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Maybe the show will get better. Maybe the cast will get worse. Either way, it'll be worth watching.
I feel like if I watched another, I would probably watch the subs.
Yeah.
Coward.
I am.
I would like to rewatch the first episode in its entirety, and then I would like to watch the second episode, both in the sub, because I just can't do it. I just can't listen to that anymore. I can't listen to any more gems, such as, they just gave me a tour of the school. That's all they said?
You're sure you haven't lived here before? You sure? Are you
Those
sure?
are the parts that are the most Lynchian to me.
I was young. I don't remember.
Stop it. You're making me crack up.
Listen, what I'm going to do after we finish recording this episode, is I'm going to go and I'm going to watch the next episode at 2 times speed.
Oh
Do
my
it.
god.
Blackle
And none of you
learned
can
to love
stop
this
me.
anime in English to spite us.
Blackle, I love and appreciate you.
Incredible.
I wish you the best of luck.
If you are unwilling to throw yourself on the pyre of shows like this, and would rather listen to us do it, you can suggest more at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
Yes. You can also tweet at us at OneEpisodeCast on Twitter.
Hey, that's one, the word, not the number.
Hell yeah.
I have to resurrect an old bit here, because I have a dragon dick moment.
Oh God.
God.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear it.
Did anyone? I don't know what this character said, but did anyone notice that nurse who was talking to the protagonist, and she said, "Aren't you a little whore lover?"
What?
She said a horror.
Horror.
He
Jesus
was
Christ.
reading Stephen King.
He was reading Stephen King.
I thought she said Mr. Whore Lover.
Ah,
Shut this whole thing down.
It's over.
Blackle likes this show because she came to it with a very different impression of what was actually going on.